giving you a voice.
Making it loud our own way.
Welcome to the fun.
First Updates Now FRC is produced in partnership with Stryker. Discover why so many First alumni and mentors are putting Stryker first when it comes to their careers. Visit careers.stryker.com/first to view openings, internships, and co-ops tailored to those who are in First. That's careers.stryker.com/first. And by the Blue Alliance. Keep up to date on all live and archived First Robotics events and team stats at thebluealliance.com. And also, viewers like you. We need your help to keep fun loud, live, and independent. Help us by visiting our Patreon to pledge your support at patreon.com/First Updates Now. You can also support Fun live on Twitch for a few bucks a month or by linking your Prime account for free and clicking subscribe.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to InFiMidation. As you can see, we have moved to Tuesdays at 7:30 and have extended our show to just under an hour. This move was made to not only allow for more quality content, but to also showcase the great state of Michigan and what we here in Michigan have to offer. Tonight, we will have a few discussion topics, show a few reveal videos from some great teams here in Michigan, and stay tuned to see who those teams may be. We will also be announcing a preliminary FIM Top 10 based off of what a few of our other hosts have seen from Robots, as well as the giveaway from the Thrifty Bot. Reporting for First Updates Now, I'm Nick Jr.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Freddie.
Yeah, so we have another new host to the show tonight, and we have a few more that we'll be introducing throughout the next couple of weeks. So, Steve, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Thanks, Nick. Well, I'm Steve Londo. I'm a FRC parent first, with one alumni from 1684, the Chimeras, a current student on 1684, as well as a student on 67 Hot Team. My company, Houseful of Cash, is also the largest sponsor, investor for 1684. My first exposure to FRC was when my stepson joined the Chimeras in 2015. We really didn't get involved at all, but basically dropping him off and picking him up. The first event we went to was Kettering 2 for Recycle Rush, and I walked in while matches were going on. I just see pool noodles getting chucked over the drive station and these totes getting picked up and garbage cans. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Had no idea what I was in for, and I was just a little confused, to say the least. So my wife and I got more involved in 2016. She's been the lead mentor for the last several years for 1684, taking over the team administration, really making a huge difference in the overall structure, the organization, the media, and she's really had a big hand in the success this team has had on the field as well over the last several years. During that year, we were completely hooked on First and FRC, and it kind of took our whole family over, and we've been heavily involved ever since. So the thing that kind of struck me the most has been the impact that First has had on these kids. And not just my own kids, but it's a huge region that I'm an investor in 1684. My company actually doesn't really get any of these kids as far as employees, or I'm not in that sort of space in the auto industry or anything like that. But I just saw the impact that it made on these kids, and I really wanted to help. So I want to do everything I can to make it loud and to help inspire many more kids and adults to get involved.
Hey, sweet. Thanks, Steve. It sounds like you got a pretty story behind everything, like I'm sure some of us others do. So we're thrilled to have you on board and join our FIM team. So next, I'm going to go and introduce Tyler for the glorious giveaway of a vectored intake wheel.
Yeah, our friends at the thrifty.com, go check them out. Have these amazing 2-inch vectored intake wheels. Man, these have been flying off the shelves. They're actually, for the first time, not sold out right away. Man, like, if you guys haven't seen this, like, literally every single week, these come out, gone within minutes for things. But our friends over at the Thrifty Bot are giving away a set of these. If you're interested in winning, we're going to have a keyword for you to type in later on during the show. Don't forget, make sure you click that follow button, stay up to date on all fun content going through. Tons of content coming up during this FRC competition season and FTC content as well. If you're interested in subscribing, help fun, stay loud, live, and independent, throw us a few bucks our way. Why not? Or a free Twitch Prime sub, anything like that. You'll get 5 times luck to win. So we'll be drawing for that a little bit later on. Thanks again to the Thrifty Bot for this awesome giveaway.
Hey, thanks, Tyler. Appreciate it. And thanks again to the friends from the Thrifty Bot. I know that 4130 is using the vectored intake wheels, and we absolutely love them. So If you don't have them, try and get them while you can, because I'm sure they're going to be gone. So next year, we're going to move into a couple discussion topics, with obviously this being the first week of Michigan, and we only have 4 events to preview this coming week. We're going to do a couple discussion topics and then do some reveal videos after. So I'm going to go ahead and start the discussion, and then I'm going to move it over to Steve, and then he's going to go ahead, and I'm going to go to, and then I'll introduce Freddie after that. So first thing here, thus far, what do we think about Infinite Recharge? How do we think it's going to play out? And some couple tidbits of what you guys think is going to happen here.
You know, man, I'm super excited for this game. I think it's going to start a little slow in the first couple of weeks, but by MSC and Champs, I think it's going to be a very fast-paced game. With a lot more scoring than we're seeing right now in sort of the week zeros and the like the Israeli event that was going on the last couple of days. I think it's going to be fun to watch as a spectator, a lot easier to see than last year for sure, and I think it'll be fun to call as a GA. So I think week 1 is going to be all about the climb. Probably the first couple of weeks is going to be all about the climb. If you can climb, if you have a alliance that can climb, that's going to put you over the edge in terms of winning. A buddy climb is basically going to guarantee a first seed if you can pull it off. For watching some of the week 0 events and the ISR District 1 event, I think the color wheel is going to be pretty much non-existent. Getting to stage 2 and 3 is not going to happen at all in week 1. That's kind of what I think. Nick, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so before I kind of go into mine, Mike, which is also one of our hosts, had a couple topics that he wanted to bring out. Like Steve said, first couple weeks, it's going to be about the climb. Mike also believes that when we get to week 10, it's still going to be about the climb, which I completely don't disagree with him. So one other thing he has said, teams that are noticing the indexing is very difficult with these power cells. They have a very weird skin to them. They get stuck with each other. So I know like Sky, which is another one of our hosts, also mentioned about that. So, okay, so going into me, I'm going to be honest with you, not a huge fan of the game. Personally, I think that it's a lot heavied. It's very weighted towards going into sort of like how 2017 was, where the climbs are worth way more than they should be. That's my personal opinion. Chat, tell us what you think. When I saw the reveal, I was fairly confused. There was obviously a lot going on. It's one of the more fields that has a lot to it. I am noticing though, when at least on 4130, we've gotten our shooter starting to get to the point where where it needs to be. The inner port, if you are beyond the initiation line or right in front of the trench run, if you're not aiming for it, there's probably still a good chance that you might get a couple in the inner port just because of where it's at. So it may not be as hard as it looked at the beginning of the season. So hot take, I'll say it now, teams that shoot behind the color wheel are going to make or break alliances in future competitions. I think that having the ability to be going back and forth that 10 feet between your alliance station and going to the color wheel and being able to shoot, obviously I know there's been some math done that it's pretty impossible to get the inner port behind the color wheel unless you're getting lucky with it. But I really think that's going to make or break alliances. So going into how Steve was talking about ISR, from the looks of it, this is a lot like, this game reminds me a lot of the FTC game Rover Ruckus, where it was mainly all autonomous and all end game. So I know like today teams are averaging, or alliances are averaging under between 10 and 15 power cells the whole match. So I mean, really, you're really getting all your points in, all of those autonomous points, and then your climb points are really coming in. So that's a big deal too. If you're doing swerve for this game, God bless you and your interaction with the rendezvous point. We're doing tank drive, and it's still rough. So if you're doing swerve, may the force be with you. Again, reminds me a lot of the Stronghold with being reliable. I know Steve touched on this a little bit too, but being able to fly over the bump if you're a tall robot is going to be huge. And finally, God bless the people that don't know or understand G10 and 11, because it was, as we saw at ISR and as most of us predicted earlier, those penalties are going to be huge. So, Freddie, what do you think, man?
I love this game. I think it is going to be a fantastic game, especially when played at a high level. When we come to MSC and our World Championships in Houston and Detroit, I think it's going to be, like a lot of the things Steve said, it's going to be very high flying, fast-paced action. One thing that I think is the climbs. I think they are a little too OP. Matches are going to be won and lost on the climbs. I think at a lot of weaker events and early season events that you'll be able to single-handedly win matches with just being able to solo climb and be level. But really, that's not really a big drawback for me. I think a lot of the good about this game is going to outweigh the minor bad of the climbs. In regard to fouls, name me a game where fouls don't become a problem at some point in FRC history. I mean, as long as teams are being mindful of the manual and not driving around like a chicken with their head cut off, I think it's gonna be a very, very good game.
Yeah, I mean, and like again, to be honest with you, I hated Power Up to start the game, and then I ended up loving it. So I'm a stickler when it comes to these kind of games and whatnot. But personally, I just wasn't hoping for a shooting game because previously my team necessarily hasn't had the most success with shooters. But we're hopefully going to change that this year. So is there anything else you guys want to add? I know there's one other thing that I want to bring up, but the main part where I really think this is going to be huge is how teams are removing their robots from the switch generator. If you look at ISR and watch a couple of those matches, there is a very specific way on how these robots are removed, and it's probably at least in my FRC experience this year, it has the easiest way to get a yellow card. I mean, the minute you touch that thing, instant yellow card. So, Tyler, you got any comments?
Yeah, I just want to check in with our Twitch chat poll that we had on here, asking what were your thoughts watching Week 0 in ISR. 63% said pretty good, 13% said amazing, and 25% said it reminded them of 2015.
Oh, man. Well, see, at least for me, I like 2015. So all you haters can hate on it, but
yeah, your opinion's bad. You feel bad.
Oh, okay. All right, I see how it is. You guys got anything else to add?
Yeah, I have one last thing. I think teams that run the Everybot this year are going to be extremely valuable, more so than the previous couple of years that the Robonauts have done the Everybot. So if your team has decided to go that route, I think you're going to be a very quality team. As long as you can get a lot of drive practice, I think they can contribute a lot to the Alliance.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially when it comes to those qual matches, right? If you can just get somebody that dumps, power cells efficiently and quickly in the low goal. I mean, ultimately, yes, it's less points, but in reality, you're actually contributing towards that RP, and it's only going to make it better. And if not, it's going to allow you to escalate quicker. And the more you do that and whatnot. So we're going to go ahead and move over into the next discussion topic here. So overall, look on FIM for the year. What are we going to expect, and how do we think that the 200 team state championship? So if you haven't seen this yet, if you look in the manual that was released this year. First has increased the number of teams to 200 at the Michigan State Championship. I know there's some problems with this that we're all foreseeing, so we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about this, and Steve, we'll go ahead and start with you again.
Yeah, I mean, I think once again that FIM will be the highest level of play that we see throughout the year. There's just so many dominant teams in the state, and I'm really looking forward to watching kind of how it all plays out. To be honest, I'm a little concerned with moving this to 200 teams. Non-competition related, I mean, I think parking and seating is going to be an absolute nightmare. It's already been bad with major issues with 40 more teams being added to the mix. It's just going to be crazy at SVSU. It's already been a big problem the last few years, but I think it's just going to be a mess. As far as the actual play on the field goes, I'm looking forward to more teams being able to play. I'm not sure how the match schedule and field distribution is going to be affected, but there's always a few well-deserving teams that get missed out every year of MSC, and maybe 40 is a little bit too much, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, so I got a list here, but just to kind of branch off of what Steve said, in my opinion, if they're going to do the move, I'm glad they did 40, only because then this eliminates any chance of a surrogate match, because surrogate matches absolutely suck. So I think that's at least a good part. Overall, do I think that it's going in the right direction and trying to expand the state of Michigan and get more teams there? Overall, I think it's great. But like Steve said, where the problem lies is that there's already issues with 160. So add 40 more teams to that. You know, I can't tell you. Whenever I go to MSC, I have to park over a mile away every time I'm there, because if you're not there at 6 o'clock, you ain't getting a parking spot in that first parking lot. So that's a big deal. So couple things going on. In my opinion, if we're going to see a unicorn match week 1, I don't see it happening. But if we do, I really think MCC is going to be the place we see it, and I'll kind of go into that later when we preview MCC. But a lot of teams traveling out of district this season. We have a lot of teams at a couple teams at St. Louis. We have 3 Michigan teams that are out at Waterloo this year. So does the absence of the bag have to do with this and allow them to travel to these competitions? And, you know, maybe I know for a fact, or at least my team, we're competing in Michigan, and then we're going to Waterloo, and then we're back in Michigan. So just to get another competition under the robot, and hopefully by that point we'll be able to have some more experience for our drivers. So in my opinion, there's really only one stacked event this year besides MSC. And it happens to be the week 1 MCC. I know there's a couple of them that are pretty close to it, but the number of teams that left Southfield to go to MCC because they saw the 35, 38, 33 teams there now have, you know, a little bit more difficult time on their hands, in my opinion. Freddie, what do you think?
Yeah, like most years, I think this is going to be a strong year for FIM, mostly because I think the game lends itself to a lot of team strengths. As the Wheel of Fortune is really the only brand new concept. You know, we've had shooting these types of balls before. We've had bar climbing before. As always, MSC will be really the strongest event in all of FRC. However, to echo some of Steve's points and yours too, Nick, I think adding 40 more teams is going to be a logistical nightmare in all aspects, other than match play. As an SVSU student, I can tell you that we already have barely enough parking as it is. And then add 200 robotics teams and all of the people, parents, students, mentors, volunteers, and it could be a real problem. That's really all I've got. So now I'm going to hand it back over to you, Nick, because we got some super top secret intel to go into.
Yeah, so actually Tyler's got something really quick to say. So Tyler, you got anything?
Just want to check in on the poll here. Should FIM champs have been raced to 200 teams? 80% of the vote says yes.
Wow.
Versus no. So maybe disputing you guys just a little bit. The chat says yes, go to 200.
Yeah. So like I said, overall, do I think it's a great direction? Yes. I just think logistically it's going to make it more of a nightmare. But I mean, honestly, the more teams, the better. At that point, it's a very 50-50 situation in my opinion. So Steve or Freddie, anything else to add?
No, I think we're good.
All right. So now we're going to get into reveal videos. A couple of them have been seen. A couple of them have been not. If you watched Premiere Night, Strike Zone actually made a longer video that we're going to go ahead and watch a little bit later. But before we get into showing some reveal videos from some great teams here in Michigan, we also have someone else to thank. Recently, Stryker has partnered with First Updates Now. Tyler, can you tell us more about Stryker?
Sorry, cue my microphone there. Yeah, definitely want to give a big shout out to our friends at Stryker. Guys, if you haven't checked out Stryker, I mean, based right in Michigan, right? What a fantastic company. A couple of us got to go to Stryker's headquarters, and it was pretty, Nick Jr. got to go check it out, and holy crap, is it awesome.
Unbelievable, breathtaking.
The corporate, the innovation center they have there looks like I just walked right into Google, and I mean, they had a legit Starbucks, so that's not a bad deal. But guess what, guys? Stryker is looking for you. If you're looking for either a new career, looking to start an internship, or just looking for a company that might actually support you for being in first, go check out Stryker, Stryker, and go to careers.stryker.com/first to find some amazing careers, internship opportunities that are available to you. Guess what, FIM fans? Just even in the state of Michigan, there are still, last time I checked, 17 internships available for you. So if you're looking for a great internship, and also, Nick, you can verify this, they said they actually cover a housing stipend for interns as well, too. Like, that is crazy awesome. And so if you want a company, once again, pays you well, actually supports you for being in first, and, you know, might actually go a bit over the top for you, go check out careers.stryker.com/first.
Yeah, and to kind of base off of what Tyler said, me and Tyler were both commuting to the First Illinois Collegiate Competition, and we both had the opportunity to have lunch with Corey Walters from 2767 and get a tour of the Stryker facility. And like Tyler said, wow. We got to go into their new building, and you walk in, and there's a mock OR right there. And there's a bunch of medical equipment. It was a breathtaking experience. And yes, I will verify they do offer a housing stipend. So, well, FIM fans, we are going to take the opportunity to go ahead and watch a few review videos here from the state of Michigan and a couple teasers, some from great teams. Steve, do you want to go ahead and get us started off with the first introduction?
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately for 1684, we didn't get our reveal done in time for this show, but it will be out before week 1 starts for sure. So check that out on our YouTube channel. One of the reveals that really stood out to me was the first one that I saw this season from one of the teams that we at 1684 are pretty close to in Team 2337, the Engineers from Grand Blanc. Let's check it out. Wow, I love this robot. I mean, from that sweet swerve drive to the shout out to the retired team 1717 at the end, and the fact that they released their video at 5:17 p.m. 1717 in 24-hour time. I really liked Legacy's design, which was inspired by said 1717, the Penguineers. And let's face it, the Nerds always have built quality robots that are generally highly competitive year in and year out. I love the dual side intakes. I absolutely love their shooter. I mean, that thing looks stupid accurate. So the only thing we didn't get to see was their climber and how that works. So unfortunately, I won't get to see them play in person live until MSC, and probably only if they're on the same field as 1684. But I'm really looking forward to watching some of the videos of their play this season. I'm really expecting big things from 2337. Nick, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, 2337 has always been one of those good teams and recognized here in FIM. And they finally took the step to swerve drive. I said earlier, God bless the teams that are doing the swerve drive. I hope it works out for them. But personally, I wouldn't be taking that risk. But I mean, overall, the index is wicked quick. It looks dead accurate. I mean, overall, the Nerds have always built aesthetically pleasing robots. And, Legacy's nothing different. So, Freddie, you got anything else to add?
No, I think nothing more than it's already been said. Just a really dang good robot, and I like that homage in their design to 1717, a legendary team.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and move into the next one. If you had the opportunity to watch Premiere Night on Sunday night, by the way, Tyler and Christine, Justin, and Mike, great job on Premiere Night. Always do a fantastic job. You did get a brief teaser of 5460. Let's just say Dart is a slick looking machine. If you came to watch the show for the full video, let's go ahead and watch the extended reveal and have a discussion after.
I got a hunger, I gotta feed my soul. The gates are open, so release the bulls. Don't hold me back no more, unleash the beast inside. Stand up with my pride. We are legends, tonight's the night. Yeah, we are legends, tonight's the night. Yeah, so come along with me, 'cause we're making history. Yeah, we got the keys to the town. Yeah. And no one's gonna take our crown.
Well, all I gotta say is wow. Quick shout out to Parker and the entire 5460 team for making a great video and a great machine. So after getting a better look at Dart, this thing is scary quick. I clocked in about just over a second to completely release all 5 balls. Being on 4130, we powder coat our robot at 5460. We've built a great relationship with them. So I had the opportunity to see Dart a few weeks back. And when I did, I said, wow, still. And I'm still saying wow 3 weeks later. So, Strike Zone continues to impress me, and I expect nothing but good things from them coming this year. Something to note is that they aren't competing till week 4. So, I mean, they got 3 weeks that, if they're not happy with what they have, they can change it and do some things. And, maybe maybe the Dart we see now is not going to be the Dart we see in 4 weeks. So, going back to last year when we would continue to make bets, I'll be the first one this year, and I'm setting it now. 5460's back in Fimstein. Calling it now. Brady, what do you think?
I agree. I love this machine, man. They've just, ever since I think 2017, I mean, they've always built really good machines, but really we've seen them since 17, 18, 19, now. They have just been consistently improving and building awesome machine after awesome machine. And it looks like this year's no different. And I'm going to agree with you on that I have no doubt that we're going to see him in Fimstein again this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, really quick, I don't want to take any knockoff of the other Lapeer team there, but let's set here, guys. I mean, we have 2 great teams between the Chimeras and 5460 that are housed in the same building, that are completely separate in designing from each other, and they still continue to release exquisite machines. I mean, Chimeras last year with the awesome carbon fiber elevator, Strike Zone last year with the flipping arm. I mean, I can't even. I'm psyched to see what Chimeras pull out, because I always know that those 2 Lapeer teams are always going to have something great. So, Steve, got anything to add?
Yeah, just real quick. What's funny to me is we build right across the hall from each other. I've literally not seen their robot until their reveal video. So I'm not in the shop every day. A couple days a week I stop in and do some things. But it's funny, and they continue to build really quality machines. They're always very, very competitive, and I fully expect them to be making changes before week 4, before they start their first event. They're going to see what's working the best out of all these events. They're going to see what some of the top teams are doing, and they're going to implement those into their robot. They're really good at that. And just to speak on Lapeer real quick, Lapeer is a small town, and there's 1 high school, and we consistently build 2 very, very competitive teams.
Absolutely.
Kind of compete for resources in a sense. We compete for kids, we compete for sponsors and all that kind of stuff in this small area. And just what they've been able to do is just nothing short of amazing, in my opinion. So I'm really excited. I'm disappointed we couldn't share our reveal video yet. I so want to tell you guys all about our robot,
Right.
but I'm sworn to secrecy. I'll be murdered by my wife if I say anything. So I really think it's going to be an amazing season for all of them, and I'm really looking forward to showing off our robot too.
Yeah, awesome. So with that being said, hats off to 5460 again, and Freddie's going to go ahead and transition us into the next one.
Yeah, I've got a few videos, and it's rare here in FRC that we have commodities such as this one that we're about to show. Thanks to our good friend Mike, we've got a super secret video from 3538 RoboJackets out of Auburn Hills, defending Michigan State Championship finalists and 2019 Einstein team. Let's roll a clip. So here they go, picking up a ball. Gonna try out the shooter. Narrowly misses, narrowly misses. I think that one hit the ceiling, didn't it?
Did something fall out? Yes.
I think they hit the ceiling with that.
That's some lights out shooting there, man.
For real, for real. That was their first time on the field, and their programmer was driving. And that was done at the Livonia Week 0 event. I have a feeling, knowing their recent history, that they're going to get that thing dialed in maybe not for Southfield, but definitely for their next event. The other robot featured in that video was 548 RoboStangs. You can see them. They graduated a strong senior class last year, and you have to imagine that their real robot's going to be a little bit better than that. We've also got 3539 Biting Bulldogs out of Romeo, who just recently dropped the reveal video for their robot Mantis. Let's check it out.
They don't make 'em like me no more. They don't make 'em like me no more. Like me no more. They don't make 'em like me no more. One thing I know for sure, they don't make 'em like me no more. Shining like a supernova, brand new code hanging on my shoulders. I got what you need, I'm your main controller. So hop right in and don't take it slower. Get on up to my cloud, ain't nobody here's taking us down. Hit 'em with the rhythm, banging that sound. That's when we get 'em, hit the whole town. Got what you want, I got what you need. You bring the lock, I got the keys. Come turn me on, can't get enough. Don't fit the box, don't fit the mold, 'cause you know I just tear it up. They don't make 'em like me no more. They don't make 'em like me no more. Like me no more. They don't make 'em like me no more. Can't make 'em like me. They don't make 'em like me no more. One thing I know for sure, they don't make 'em like me no more. Make 'em like me no more.
It's another complex machine from 3539. This time joining many others in the Swerve Drive gang. I see a lot of potential in that machine with their Robot Wrangler style buddy climb. It'll be interesting to see what they can do at MCC this week. Nick, do you have any thoughts on this machine?
Yeah, I'm about 15 minutes out of Romeo, so we've been to their practice field a couple times in the previous years, and ultimately, I really expected a bounce back year out of them. They missed the state championship for the first time last year, and have again just proven to me that they're back. I don't want to say they were ever gone, but they're back, and they're ready to put it to the metal. And I also like the shout out to 148. If you go back and watch the video again, if you didn't catch it, they got a little 148 sticker on the side of their Robo Wrangler. I'm assuming the inspiration of it. So, Steve, anything else?
Yeah, I love that robot. I mean, it's aesthetically amazing looking. I think the Swerve Drive is pretty cool. We're going to see how it performs. MCC is probably the most stacked event there is this season, like you said. So it's going to be a great test for them. One of I love that transition too, just as a reveal video goes from the practice robot to the powder coated version. I thought that was really slick. Shout out to them for that. And yeah, the 148 sticker, to give them respect for using that buddy climb from I think it was 2017. Amazing job. Great job. I'm really looking forward to seeing that robot this year.
Yeah. So like Tyler said in chat, if you want to go ahead, there's a poll and vote for the 3 review videos that we've shown. We do have one more video to show, but it's not necessarily a reveal video. So go ahead and vote, and we'll talk about it in a little bit. So Freddie, go ahead and take us off with the last one.
Yeah, so this last one is going to be from 1023 Bedford Express from Temperance. As you can see in the video, just a really, really fast and amazing high goal shooter. A lot of inner goals there. They built some pretty good machines the last few years. They usually build pretty good machines. Last year, they also made the switch to Swerve. So have to imagine it's going to be another very strong season from the Bedford Express.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to quick point out, too, every single goal that they shoot in that video goes right in the inner port. Don't miss one. So
insane accuracy.
That's a pretty big deal. So moving into
sick.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. So moving into the good stuff now. So Fim fans, past few weeks, the hosts and contributors have been going back and forth in our channel on Fun and have been discussing a preseason top 10. The Fim top 10 will be a regular thing that will happen on each show. So for this show, myself, Freddie, and Steve have all created our own top 10 to start the season. And we're going to go ahead and talk about it and and then they'll give the opportunity to explain on what each of them thought, starting with mine. So coming in at the number 10 spot, I got the reigning world champions 217, the Thunder Chickens out of Utica. Coming in at number 9, I got 2337, the Engineers with Legacy out of Grand Blanc. Number 8, got 3641 Flying Toasters out of South Lyon. Number 7, 4362 Gems out of Brighton. Number 6, 1023 Bedford Express out of Temperance. Number 5, 1684 Chimeras out of Lapeer. Number 4, 3538 Robo Jackets out of Auburn Hills. Number 3, Strike Zone out of Lapeer, 5460. Number 2, 33 the Killer Bees out of Auburn Hills. And coming in at my number 1 spot, 2-time world champion, 2767 Strike Force out of Kalamazoo. Few things on why I have these set the way I do. Personally, I got Strike Zone so high because Dart is a Dart. It's quick and efficient, and I don't expect anything less out of my buddies at Strike Zone. So coming down, Killer Bees, I'm expecting big things out of them. Going into the past years, 14, 12, 13, they've all shot really good. They're a really good shooting team. Now they have, some new mentors over there, and some from what I've heard, a really good group of students over there right now. So expecting big things out of them. Robo Jackets, Einstein last year, don't expect anything less out of them. Chimeras always impresses me, no problem. Bedford Express, we just saw their video. Gems, state champion from last year. Toasters, Einstein from last year. Nerds with Legacy, and then the Chickens, the reigning world champion. So at the end, I also have an honorable mention for 3539. With them not making states last year, I can't see putting them in my pre-top 10, but they definitely deserve a mention. So we're going to go ahead and let Steve talk about his now.
Yeah, so starting at number 10, I've got 1023 Bedford Express. In number 9, I've got 1918 NC Gears out of Fremont. I'm going to see them up at Traverse City, which we'll get into shortly. Coming in at number 8, I've got 910 the Foley Freeze out of Madison Heights. At number 7, I have 4362 the Gems, always a strong team out of Brighton. At number 6, I've got Dart 5460 Strike Zone. At number 5, I've got 2337 the Engineers from Grand Blanc. And at number 4, I've got 1684 the Chimeras out of Lapeer. And the top 3, I've got 30. This was a hard top 3. I kind of bounced around between the 3 a few times. But at number 3, I've got 33 the Killer Bees out of Auburn Hills. Strike Force 2767 out of Kalamazoo at number 2. And at number 1, the reigning, well, they didn't win Fimstein, but they were on Einstein and Fimstein. So 3538 Robo Jackets, always very tough. And I look for them to do really, really good things again this year, despite hitting the lights. I think that the big thing here was, it's really hard in a preseason.
Absolutely.
With teams that you haven't seen played. I haven't even seen half these robots. So I'm kind of going a lot off of, reputation, consistency, some teams that have always had strong showings and teams that I know a little bit. So I'm looking for this to sort of change a lot throughout the season, but I'm really excited about this season and these 10 teams here, with some honorable mention to the Biting Bulldogs 3539, whose reveal we just watched, and reigning world champion 217 Thunder Chickens from Sterling Heights too.
Yeah, absolutely. Freddie, you want to go ahead and talk about yours?
Yeah, let's get right into mine. I see you guys in the chat. And I am a man of the people. I like giving the people what they want. So in my number 10 spot, I got the 3707 Brighton Techno Dogs. I don't really know how you can keep a defending world champion off the top 10 list. That might just be me. Maybe they know something I don't. In my 9 spot, I've got 910 Foley Freeze. They had a really good year last year. Number 8, defending state champions, Gems out of Brighton, 4362. Number 7, one of the teams we just saw in our videos, 1023 Bedford Express. 1684 Chimeras. I don't know how you can refrain from putting them in your top 10. Just an amazing team, and I expect them to put out a really amazing mod, even though I haven't seen it yet. 5, we've got the Engineers from Grand Blanc. 4, 2767 Strike Force out of Kalamazoo. Can't beat the a team that does swerve as well as they do and as consistently well as they do. 5460 strike zone in my number 3 spot. I am very excited to see what they come up with, especially at those Lincoln, Troy, and MSC and Detroit championships. I assume they're going to make it to those last 2. And then in our 2 and 1 spots, I've got the projected Southfield champions, 33 Killer Bees and 3538 Robo Jackets. Not really much to be said about the 2 B teams. Just 2 really good teams, and I expect them both to have really lucrative seasons as they usually do.
Yeah, good lord, there must be a lot of Dirty Swerve fans in chat because Freddie's winning 11-2-2. So,
Yes, sir.
like I said, no hit on 3707. I think they're a great team, and to have the past 2 breakout years that they have is extremely phenomenal. Reigning world champions with Team 217. So they were number 11 on my list. But obviously my opinion. So, Steve, anything else to add?
Yeah, I had a hard time taking them out of my top 10. I only took them out based on some stuff going through the rumor mill, through the grapevine or whatever, that they were having a little bit of a challenge this off season or this build season, excuse me. They lost their driver as well, from what I understand. So those are big factors. And I really had them at 9 at one point. I kind of dropped them out. They're like 11th right now. And I probably should have put them in my honorable mention, but the defending, like Freddie said, the defending world champs not being in the top 10 is kind of a travesty, but there was some method behind that madness. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I completely agree with you. So what we are going to do now is we're going to go over and shift it back to Tyler to introduce or continue the intake wheel giveaway. And we're going to go ahead and start that now.
Yeah, sorry about that. The 2-inch vectored intake wheels from our friends at ThriftyBot. Once again, it's the giveaway for tonight. If you're interested in winning, guess what? All you got to do is type in the keyword vectored intake. 2 words, vectored intake, to win these awesome 3D printed 2-inch vectored intake wheels from the ThriftyBot.com. Make sure you do click that, not vector -100 for your premiere night people. So, so once again, make sure you click that follow button, stay up to date on First Updates Now content. And if you are a subscriber, you're going to get 5 times chance to win. So once again, vectored intake is going to be your keyword. We'll draw for that right after our previews.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Tyler. And thanks again to our friends at the ThriftyBot. So, with that being said, we got about 10 minutes left. So let's go ahead and preview the first week of Michigan. Freddie, go ahead and start us off with Kettering 1.
I will start us off with Kettering 1. Obviously, after dropping the reveal video, 2337 are the clear favorites at this point. However, there are quite a few teams, I think, who can make some noise at the first of the 2 Ketterings. For example, defending Kettering 1 champions, 27 Rush and 3542 Speed, will be making their return, and I could see either of them making a push to that coveted number 1 seed. 245 and 494 also had some impressive showings last year at their events, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're right back in the thick of it this year. 7491 Cyber Soldiers had a strong finalist showing last year at Kettering 1, and it'll be interesting to see what they roll with from a design perspective, considering they did the Everybot last year and they did it so well. Speaking of the Everybot, I know of at least one team that will roll out with the Everybot at Kettering 1, which is rookie team 8368, Red Eye Robotics, out of Flint. I saw them in a few videos from the Kettering Week 0 last week, and they had the Everybot. So it's very interesting to me as an Everybot fan to see what they're going to do. Regarding Chairman's Award, I would easily name 2337 as the favorite. It seems like everything at this event, they're considered the favorite, as they've won it at one of their events the last 2 years. We've also got a brand new event taking place this week. Nick, tell us a little bit about Macomb Community College.
Yeah, so MCC sure looks to be fun. First, fun few topics about this event. It was added late due to not enough Southeast Michigan teams not having a second event. This is the first ever Michigan district that will feature not 1, but 2 out-of-state teams, being 135 Penn Robotics from Indiana and 772 Saber Bites Robotics from Ontario. Overall, probably the most stacked FIM event this year, although there are some close ones to it towards the end of the year. It does have the highest average ELO in the event for 1580, which is the highest, again, amongst all the districts. A lot of great teams here to name a few. Reigning World Champions 217 to start with. Looking to start the year off on a right foot as they tend to start slow. 302 the Dragons, looking to stay strong. 910 coming off a great season, looking to see more out of them. 17-18 Fighting Pie, getting back into the years of shooting, looking back to 2012, 14, 17-18 was lethal, and in 2014 they probably should have won a world championship. Stated earlier, 35-39 Biting Bulldogs with a great robot, looking for a big bounce back year from them. 36-41 Flying Toasters last. Curious to see what they have to bring to the table. Haven't seen a ton of them shooting wise. Haven't seen the robot at all this year, so interested to see what they bring. Other teams I'm looking to see good things out of: 31-75 Night Vision, 28-34 Bionic Blackhawks, 51-14 Titanium Tigers, and 54-36 Cybercats. Really quick, two more teams that I'm really curious to see how to shake this event up that might not necessarily be a very well-known team. Two teams, 58-43 Flurb, 58-60 Full Metal Muskrats. I personally have seen both of their robots. I'm good friends with both of the head mentors with these teams. So I'm looking to see good things from these teams. 58-60 is usually known for their pretty heavy defense. 58-43 with the great swerve drive. They've really perfected it, and I expect to see big things out of them. So predictions for chairmans, although it would be tough, the reigning state chairman's winner 17-18 the Fighting Pie is my favorite here. So Steve, what do we got in Traverse City up north?
Yeah, this year Traverse City's week 1, and I'll be there to call the action on the field as the GA. I'm really looking forward to meeting a lot of the teams that are new to me personally, watching some real competitive teams play. I think the teams to watch at this event that are going to contend for that coveted blue banner is one of last year's event winners, the Norseman, 36-88 out of Sutton's Bay. NC Gears, who was in my top 10, 1918 out of Fremont. There's always tough. 36-18, the Petoskey Paladins out of Petoskey. And, of course, from Grand Rapids, the always competitive 33-57, the Comets. A couple sleeper teams, I think, are 71-60, the Ludington Obots in their third season. They apparently lost quite a few members, but they had a really successful sophomore season last year. They were finalists at this event last year in week 6. Also watch out for 78-55 Boneyard out of Mesick, who with 36-88 won this event last year with 16-84. So chairman's contenders, I think last year's winner, 50-86, the Cadillac Connectors, are a contender, as are 43-77 Boyne City Blaze, who started a new FRC team this year who will be at this event, Team 8400. And 17-11, the Raptors, who ran an FTC event this year as well. I think those same teams are also in contention for EI. It's not really the second place chairmans, but that's kind of how that shakes out a lot of times. So whoever doesn't win that, one of those teams will probably walk away with EI as well. So another contender for EI, last year's winner, 36-18, the Petoskey Paladins are a favorite for that too. So Team 55-25, the Alcona Toolcats actually are in contention as well. They won that award there at that event last year, So overall, I'm really excited to get this season started, and Traverse City should be a great event. I'm really looking forward to being there in just a couple days. Nick, you're going to be at Southfield. What are your thoughts on that event?
Yeah, so it's Southfield. Past couple of years, 35-38 and 33 have stolen the crown. Like I said earlier, it started off as one of the highest caliber events of the season. 9-10 was there, 17-18 was there. There was a really good group of teams there. And then they saw 33 and 35-38, and I guess they decided to leave. Maybe something else happened. So 33 has won their first district every year since 2010. I'll be extremely surprised if this year's any different, frankly. 35-38 coming off a really strong year last year. Curious to see how they perform this year after taking out the light bulb. Other teams I'm looking to see have a good event here and hopefully give the pair of 33 and 35-38 a run for their money. 548, 573, 1481, and 4130. I think the difference at this event is going to be the autonomous and climbing, like I stated earlier. If you can consistently climb, the one seat is yours. Overall, we have 2 rookies at the event. Maybe we will have a Cyber Soldiers from Kettering 1 last year repeat here at Southfield. Who knows? Chairman's looks to be fairly locked in by 33 of the Killer Bees here at this event. So we do have that vectored intake wheel giveaway. So if you haven't had the chance yet, type in chat vectored intake for a chance to win the giveaway. Tyler, go ahead.
All right, so we're going to once again do that drawing for the vectored intake wheel. By the way, the poll is just about to end as well too. For which event are you looking most forward to in week 1? And as so far, it looks like that I believe Kettering won right now, or is it MCC is winning? MCC winning by 33% of the vote, so 39% now. So pretty close overall for that. But once again, vectored intake, yep, there you go. MCC taking it with 39% of the vote there. Vector intake for these amazing wheels. Guys, go to thriftybot.com. Not only can you find these vector intake wheels, but if you want incredible prices on some other essentials for your robot, go to thriftybot.com and go check these out. Really cool stuff. The winner of this drawing is going to be Brian Sachs, 135. Congratulations for winning. And Brian is a subscriber, so you guys know what that means. Rigged emotes in chat.
Yeah, baby.
Clearly we rigged it for a subscriber to win. But congratulations.
Yeah, absolutely. Congrats to the account that won the giveaway. And like I said, 4130 uses a lot of ThriftyBot stuff. So if you get the chance, ThriftyBot's the way to go. So that's all we have time for tonight. Thanks to everyone for hanging out with us. Fun needs your help to stay live, loud, and independent. Please consider giving your support by joining Fun Nation with a subscription or bits on Twitch, becoming a Patreon at patreon.com/firstupdatesnow, or just letting people know in first that this is the place to be to get the information your team needs. Don't forget to check us out on Discord, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and obviously live on Twitch. Fun fans, clips of the week are open again. Don't forget to submit your favorite or funny clips of the week to our fun Discord by Monday at 6 p.m. every Monday. On behalf of myself, Freddie, Steve, and the entire FIB team and our producer Tyler, I would like to thank you for tuning in, and thank you for all of our moderators in chat. We'll be here, same time, same place, next Tuesday at 7:30 for the recap of Southfield, Kettering 1, Macomb Community College, and Traverse City. Good night, guys.
Thanks for watching. If you want more fun content, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. You can also directly help support Fun by visiting our Patreon at patreon.com/firstupdatesnow or by subscribing at twitch.tv/firstupdatesnow. Thanks to all of our co-executive producers on Patreon and Tier 2 Plus subscribers on Twitch, keeping Fun loud, live, and independent.